Good morning. It's time for gentle yoga. Today, our practice is all on the mat. So there will be no standing postures today. So let's start off on the back. So go ahead and lay on your back. And just close your eyes. Allow your body to sink down into the ground. And as you are laying on your back, allow your body to be at rest. And set an intention for your practice. So maybe today's practice, you want to focus on releasing some tension in a certain part of the body, or you want to focus on slower breaths, or maybe focus more on staying present in your practice and not letting the mind wander. It may be helpful to you to have some type of a mantra that you repeat. So if you are trying to maybe boost your confidence, you could repeat something like, I am strong, I am strong. And you can repeat that in a rhythmic fashion throughout the entire practice, or maybe you start to use that when you are feeling a little challenged in one of the postures. So you can say, I am at peace. There's so many different things that you can use to help you during your practice, help you stay focused. While you're on your back, bend your knees and bring your knees up into the chest. And just give a little side to side, allowing that lower back to release. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. And pause in the middle. And now you can keep your arms by your side, or if you want to, you can have them on your shins. But make a circle, just going in one direction. Feeling your lower abdominals engage as you take your knees away from your chest. Notice what happens to your back. Does it begin to arch, or are you able to keep that same posture with your back? If your arms are on the ground, are you starting to put pressure into the mat, or can you keep your arms relaxed? You don't want to build tension right now. We're trying to release. And switch direction, taking your time, making your circles, again, assessing how your body feels. And then stop after 2 more circles. Hold here. Let's just drop one toe down to the ground and return, other side. And you can feel your low abs begin to engage. Also, and focus on what's going on in the lower back. Is it starting to arch off of the ground? And then stop in the center. Hands to your shins, roll up into a ball. Release and come back down. Roll up, feel your upper abdominal muscles crunch. Release and roll down. You're lengthening through the neck. You're looking toward your knees and down. Lift your feet toward the ceiling or the sky. And pull your toes down toward your shins. And you're taking your legs up. So you have this 90-degree angle at your hips. Your abdominals are engaged. Your shoulders are relaxed. Now point the toes and flex, feeling the stretch and contraction on the front of the shins and also on the calves. Now bend your knees again and pull the right knee in closer to the chest and just extend the left leg so that it's hovering over the ground. Nice and long, and you should feel a stretch over the front of the hips. You can feel your quads engage, front of the thighs. Bring that knee in, switch sides. And although you're putting pressure with your hands, you're not adding tension to your upper back or your shoulders. Switch, just pausing, and switch again. Bring both knees in. Take your legs back to the ceiling. Let's once again dorsiflex your feet, pulling the toes down. Lower just the right leg so that it is parallel to the ground. You can feel your lower abs engage. Come up, switch sides. Move up, lower. Can you feel your abdominal muscles working? One more time each side. And switch. Good. Bend your knees. Lower your feet to the floor so that your heels are close to your bottom. And move into your first bridge, lifting up the hips. You can clasp your hands underneath your back. Press your heels to the ground. Keep stretching the front of the thighs. And slowly roll down. Take your feet back to the ceiling. Return to the one leg drop. So you're dropping one leg down, coming back up, switching. And what we're doing here is becoming aware of the low abs and doing some abdominal strengthening exercises. One more time. Bend the knees, feet down, heels close to the hips. Lift up into your bridge. And then slowly come down. Open the arms in a T and drop your legs to one side. Take your gaze the other way. And if you want to, you can add some resistance to the upper leg. Put your hand on to push the legs down toward the ground. Or you can just keep both arms open. Whatever helps you increase the stretch on your side and in through that outer hip. Lift legs back up to the center and to the other side. Looking out over your arm. Bringing both legs up to the center. One more abdominal awareness exercise. You can go back to doing one toe tap at a time, or bring both down. And as you are lowering them down, try not to increase the pressure in your arms. Try not to let the back arch off. One more time, down and lift. Bring the knees in toward your chest and come up to a seated position. And allow your toes to just hover over the ground. Lift through the chest, relax your shoulders. Maybe you lift up your legs so that they're parallel to the floor. And release. Move to bound angle. Bringing your feet together. Open them like a book. Bring heels in close to the body. And allow the shoulders to relax. Just gently lift up the knees and then press down. And release. One more time. Lift, lower. And from here, begin taking the chest down to your feet. Lengthening through the back. And come up. Good. Extend your legs in front. Place your hands behind you. Your toes are up toward the ceiling, and you're trying to lengthen the arms, but you don't want to lift the shoulders up. Engage your quads, so squeeze the tops of the thighs, and look down toward your toes. You're trying to be tall through the core, tall through the spine, engaging the core. Your neck is a little soft. That's why you're just slightly looking down. Release your hands and begin a forward fold. Be gentle here. You've not done any hamstring stretching to this point, and your lower back might be a little tight. So this is fact finding. We're just trying to see how we feel today and use breath to sink a little bit deeper. Come up, place your hands behind your bottom, bend your knees, and come up in a reverse tabletop. So you're lifting up your hips, you're looking toward the sky. You feel the stretch across the front of the chest, the front of the pelvis, and you can feel your glutes. Your butt muscles are working to keep you up, and you might feel some work in your lower back. And then come back down. Extend your legs. Fold forward again. Maybe you go a little deeper this time, maybe not. Use your breath. Try to release the tension in the back of the legs and in your back. Release. Hands to the floor. Bend the knees. Return to your reverse tabletop. Release and come down. Extend your legs for a third time. Breath in, exhale, forward fold. Perhaps you reach for your toes this time, wrapping index and middle finger, connecting with your thumb. And release. Return to your tabletop. Lift up. Press your hands down to the ground as you are stretching the muscles across the chest and front of the shoulders. Release and come down. Open your legs in just a small straddle. It's just enough that it's going to change the feel of your forward fold. And then bring your arms forward. Hopefully with your legs a little bit further open, your back can stretch a little bit easier. You can either reach for your toes or just have your hands on your shins or thighs. Begin to tighten up your quads. And release. Just come up. Return to your seated bound angle, Baddha Konasana. Pressing legs down toward the ground, relaxing the shoulders. Dropping chest down toward the feet. And release, come up. Extend your right leg. Bring your left foot into the thigh. Sit tall. And then turn your body and fold over your leg. Hopefully you can go a little bit deeper than when you have both legs straight. Allow the shoulders to relax, folding. Aiming to take chest down to your thigh. Keep taking the crown of the head toward the top of your foot, so you're going for length. Squeeze your thigh muscle,
Force the stretch deeper into the hamstrings. Release.
Come up and then balance on your opposite leg. Place your hand behind you, come up onto that knee, reach up and reach over. Lengthen the side. Come back down and return to that fold. Come up to the knee again, hand to the ground, lifting up, reaching your arm over. Maybe this time you lift up your opposite leg so that you have a longer stretch. Fingers and toes reaching opposite direction. Come back down and switch sides. The left leg is out. Tall, turn, take a breath. And then exhale as you fold over the leg, relaxing your face and neck, releasing your hamstrings. Repeat your mantra here. Come up, hand to the ground, come to your knee to do your side stretch. Reaching back, looking toward the palm of your hand. Come back down and return to your fold. So if you are repeating a mantra, it doesn't necessarily have to be something about power or peace. It could certainly be something about a character trait that you're working on, like patience. Embrace patience. Or I am patient. Come up, return hand to the ground. Try to keep that hand under your shoulder for support. Reach back and then lift up your leg if that's what you did on the other side. And release. Come down. And bring your soles of the feet together one more time. And see if you can go a little bit deeper down. Still lengthening chest. Releasing, come up. Good. Bring your knees up and then shift your position to tabletop. So you're coming forward onto your knees, hands under shoulders. Let's work the back. Cow pose and cat pose. Breath in, breath out. Finding a rhythm to move with breath. And back to neutral. Lift your right arm, look up. Feel the stretch of the back, front of the chest. Thread the needle coming down to that shoulder. Your right hand can be on the floor or extended out to the side. You can keep the hands on the floor or wrap around your back. If your foot's out to the side, you can push a little farther to help increase the stretch of the twist. Bring the hand to the floor. Keep your leg out there. Reach up. Bring the hands both underneath your shoulders and just lift that leg up to the side. Take your arm out so that you're like in a star, a half star, and then bring the arm and leg forward, lengthening, feeling the core kick in and lower down. Your knees are once again under your hips and your hands are under your shoulders. Lift up left arm, look up, and then thread the needle coming to the shoulder. Extend your leg. Wrap your arm around your back. Try and twist open a little bit further. Still keeping your neck soft and relaxed, so no tension. Return the right hand to the mat. Lift up the left. Replace it to the ground. Your leg is still extended. Lift your leg up. And you take your left arm out. And you feel your core. Bring the leg and arm straight ahead. And release. Sit back in child's pose. Bringing your legs are together. Take your arms forward, drop forehead down to the ground. Slowly come out and move to downward facing dog. Tuck under your toes. Lift your hips. Drop heels to ground. Look toward the knees or the belly button. Finding that long back, big stretch of the back of the legs down to the heels. Come down to your knees. Return to child's pose. But this time, wrap your arms around and hold the bottoms of your feet. Allow your head to come to the ground. You're kind of in a little ball, letting neck release. Your shoulders are also relaxed. Your hands are just connected to the soles of the feet. Release your feet. Place your hands forward. And then come down to the ground. You want to squish that little boat. Okay.
Open your arms like a T. Your body is just relaxed here. Keeping the right hand down on the ground, you can bring that left hand in to help you roll onto your right side. So your head is kind of hovering over the mat. And you're aiming to stack your hips. Your core is engaged to help keep you in this position. And you can feel the stretch on the front right shoulder. Hand returns to the floor, roll down. Extend your other arm and shift to the other side. Rolling onto your side. Feeling the stretch. Come to the center again. Bring your hands in under your shoulders and just lift up a little bit. So as you're lifting up, you aren't pushing with your hands, you're lifting, lengthening through the back. You're pushing your feet into the ground, so it's the tops of the feet that are on the floor. Feel your back muscles working to lift you higher. And then release and come down. Let's go a little bit deeper. Come up to Sphinx pose. Your forearms are on the floor. And your forearms should be directly under your, your elbows should be directly under your shoulders, and your forearms are parallel to the edge of the mat. So be very cautious that you're not sticking your elbows out wide. We're not trying to sink down. We're trying to lift up, trying to lengthen and open the chest, lengthen through the back. Just gonna hold this for 5 more breaths. So in this position, try to continue lifting up while the tension in your lower back releases. One more breath. And come down. Bend just your right leg, reach for your foot. Gently pull the heel toward your bottom. Push your hips into the ground. Now lift up chest a little bit and then lift your leg. So like half of a floor bow. Push your foot into your hand. And come down. Release, other side. Bending knee first, reaching for foot and gently bringing foot toward your bottom. Push hips into the ground. So you're kind of squeezing your butt a little bit as you push your pelvis toward the floor. And you should feel a big stretch on the front of the thigh. Now lift up the chest a little bit and lift your leg and your arm. Lifting toes up, pushing the foot. The top of the foot is pushing into your hand. So you can feel that bigger stretch through the arm, through the front of the shoulder, definitely in the thigh and the back, lower down. Return to your Sphinx pose. So you're coming up, holding here. And even though you're stretching front of the chest and across the abdominal muscles, you're still engaging them. So you're not just letting the belly hang out. Now bend your right foot, keeping the balance on your right arm, and still maintain your balance in this posture. Keep bringing the foot in, big quad stretch. And then release the leg, hand down, come down, take a rest. Allow the back to release. It might feel good to you to drop your legs side to side. Come back up to Sphinx. Bend your left leg. And again, pulling it. So trying to lift up, trying to bring your foot toward your hip. And release. And now let's move to floor bow. So if you're challenged to hold both feet at the same time, then go back to doing the one leg version that we already did. Otherwise, bend your knees, bringing the toes together, reach for your feet, and lift. Lifting toes up, looking out about a foot to 18 inches from the edge of your mat. Keep driving toes toward the sky, lifting up. Feel your quads stretch. And release, come down. Once again, you can just allow the body to relax completely or drop your legs side to side. Okay, we have 2 more floor bows. Reach for your feet. Lift up. And then you're going to roll. Lift up, roll. Right. That's why we did the prep earlier. Feel the stretch. Core is strong. Come back to your floor bow, lift up, and release. Floor bow, lift up, last one. Lift, and roll to your left. What tension can you let go of in this posture? Come to the center, lift the toes up one more time, and release. Bring your hands forward and move to cup. So your legs stay on the ground, but your arms straighten. Allow the back to release. And come down. Press into your child's pose as a counter stretch. We will continue on. Still working the lower back.
Use it as a counter stretch.
And now move to upward facing dog.
Shifting forward, you can either come into the posture from above or come down and lift up. Legs are off of the ground. Keep holding and opening, and then tuck under your toes and move to down dog.
Dropping heels to the ground. Bring the knees to the floor.
Let's continue working on stretching, hyperextending your back. Come to the knees. And if this mat is uncomfortable on your knees, you can always put something else more cushiony underneath. So you're standing tall on your knees. You're engaging your low abs. Take your hands behind your back and take the elbows back. You want to keep your hips in this neutral position. So as we move into Ustrasana, into camel pose, you want to avoid sitting back or leaning back. So when you're in this posture, you want to avoid shifting back. What you're trying to do is hyperextend from your lower back, keeping the hips forward. So a good first start is bringing the elbows together and looking forward. And then take your gaze up. And continue taking your gaze up and keep pushing hips forward as you are beginning to do a little back bend. And slowly rise and sit back. Sitting and releasing the stretch of the front of the thighs. So there's a lot of things that go into play when we're doing these back bend type exercises. You're not only to strengthen and stretch the muscles of your back, but you're doing a strengthening and stretching of the opposite side, your abdominals, the front of the body. And all of that core also includes your hip flexors and your glutes. So there are a lot of muscles involved. Let's return. Let's do that again. And your option this time is, if that's comfortable enough for you to reach back for your heels, you can keep your toes down or tuck them under to bring your heels up higher. But whatever you do, try to come back evenly and continue pressing hips forward. So bringing the elbows back, pressing hips forward and moving into your camel. Bring chin to chest and sit back. Good. Return to your knees. I'm going to turn forward to face you. And let's bring the right foot forward and shift into a low modified lunge. Your knee is over your ankle. You have the support of your shin, and allow the body to sink. So you're
taking the center of your body is shooting down toward the ground, but your spine is long. So you're just sinking, feeling this stretch, front of the thigh into the hip flexor. Drop hands to ground. Shift your weight back to stretch your hamstrings. Shift forward. This time lift your arms. Hands down to the ground. Shift back. Come forward. Lift up. Last time, hands down, hamstring stretch. Forward. And up and release. Press back. Other side. Left leg comes forward. Shift down. Heavy body weight. Shift back to the hamstring stretch. Toes come up. Shift forward. Lift up your arms. Swing the arms up. And exhale, hands down and shift back. Shift forward. Reach up. Down and shift back. And come forward. And come back to your knees. Sit in high heroes pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, take the right hand to the front and your left hand behind you for a twist. Gentle twist. Lift up. Other side. Gentle twist. And release. Let's move into dolphin pose. And there's a couple ways to do this, but today what I would really like you to do is have your arms as if you're in Sphinx. So the best way to set up is to have your arms on the ground and then just cross your fingertips over so that your fingers touch your shoulders, and then that'll help you to get your elbows under your shoulders, and then bring your arms forward. Hands flat on the floor. Lift up as if you're going into down dog. And what I'd like you to do is look toward your thumbs. And so the whole reason we're doing it this way is to try and increase some strength in your upper back. Legs are strong. They're long. You're still dropping heels toward the ground. And then release, bend your knees. Move to child's pose one more time. Release and come up and have a seat. Let's take the right leg and move into double pigeon. Left leg stacks up on top. And your goal is for these legs to be stacked like logs. Foot over knee, knee over foot. If your leg is up here, that's fine. You're feeling the stretch. So if your leg is up high, try just to release the tension of the hip by breathing and staying still and being calm. You can always, if you have a shirt, a pillow, or something that you're using as a prop, you can also put that here to allow your leg to just rest on it. Reach the arms up. Exhale, take right hand to the front, look to the left. Lift up, other way. Lift up. Fold forward if you would like to increase your stretch, especially if you already have your legs set. Be very gentle with this, it's intense. So use your breath as you're sinking down. And slowly come up. Switch sides. Taking the left leg down, bringing the right leg over top. Sitting tall. Taking the time to let the hips. Most of us have tight hips. Okay, reach up. Left hand to front, twist to the right. Lift up. Other way. To the center again. Breathe in, and on your exhale, fold, sink forward. Taking your time. And then slowly roll up. Uncross. Now bring that left leg in a little bit further. Take your right foot across your body and try to point the knee toward the ceiling. And then twist toward that leg. And you can hold your leg by pulling it in. Maybe you take the arm to the outside part and you push against the leg. You might even have the flexibility to reach for your knee. Look over your back shoulder. Keep twisting. And release. Switch your legs. Bending your right leg, pulling the foot toward your bottom, crossing left leg over and sitting tall, and then turning toward that left leg.
As you exhale, try to twist just a little bit more. And release. Good. Beautiful. Roll onto your back. You can go down either with straight legs if you want to try and work your core, or bend your knees as you're coming down. Okay, bend your knees. Take the right leg up to the ceiling. Reach for your toes. Turn to the side. Feel that stretch for the hamstring. Gently bringing your thigh toward your chest. Try lengthening the leg without locking the knees, but nice, strong, long leg. And take the leg to the side. Your other leg can remain bent, or you can straighten it out on the ground. Look the opposite direction. Flex both feet so that you're pulling your toes toward your shins. You get a bigger stretch through the inner thigh that way. Look to the center. Bring your knee up and bend the knee. And across the body, spine twist. Look the opposite direction. To the center. Squeeze the knee in and return it to the floor. And lift up your other leg. Reach for your toes. And if you can't reach your toes, just hold on to the shin. By straightening the leg. Pulling down toward the chest. And then open the leg to the side. Straighten your supporting leg. Look the other way. Take the leg to the ceiling. Bend the knee. Cross over. Twist the other way. We did a lot of back stretches today. Hopefully your lower back feels more release, and your hips feel more release. Those muscle groups are connected. Release and come to the center. Bring the knees in. Move to happy baby, reaching for the outside part of the feet. Rock, roll, massage your low back, or just enjoy the freedom of this movement and how silly it feels, how simple it is. And then stop in the center. Bring the knees to your chest and move to Shavasana, extending your legs. Closing your eyes and laying on your back, allowing your feet to drop to the side. And just stay in this posture.
Might be tempting to just quickly pop up out of that posture and move on. But try to stay here, stay present, return to your mantra, or if you've not had one during the practice, maybe now's the time to begin one. Remain present. Add some movement to your position. That might be just turning your head side to side. You can open your mouth really wide, stretch your face, wiggle fingers, toes, do wrist circles. And then roll to your right side. And slowly come up to seated. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Thank you for your practice today. Thank you for taking time for yourself, for your physical, spiritual, and mental health. I wish you well. I wish you a great week. And until we practice together again, namaste. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy the outside. Just drink lots of water and be safe in the heat, but soak up the sun and get that vitamin D. Helps stimulate some positive thoughts and positive vibes. Have a great day, everybody.